Dr. David Hill.
So say Geronimo, say Geronimo, say Geronimo, say Geronimo, say Geronimo.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. I am so excited to be with you today. I really am. Thank you for coming. Are you enjoying what you're hearing so far? I have to say, just from my perspective, it was good to see Dave, it was good to see Rob, it was good to see Corey, and it's good to be here with my partners. I've appreciated their words, the strength, the courage, the faith, their willingness to persevere, and all the things that we undertake here in doTERRA. I'm grateful, and I share my sentiment with them, what a privilege it is to be involved in doTERRA, to serve and to work with each one of you as we have done now for many, many years, and as we will certainly do well into the future. So thank you for being here. Now, I don't normally show sorry, I'm going to go quick because they have this clock. And if I get music played on me, I know Emily's not going to let me live it down. So I have to move fast. Now I'm going to show a picture of my family. I don't normally do that. That's out of the ordinary for me. Not because I don't care about my family. I love them deeply. If you look at my family, you see that they're all happy and they're all smiling. The reason for that is just before we took this picture, they all looked at me with these loving eyes and they had this great realization. We look exactly like our dad. This is the best moment of all time. All of my kids I know are grateful that they look like their mother. I wanted to tell you about my family because of what it represents. I know that in doTERRA we work hard, we spend lots of time, we have challenges, we put in great effort. It's not easy to do what we do. And especially to do it with consistency and with the outcomes that we look for and that we want to have and receive. It's representative, my family is representative of all those who stand with you in all of your efforts. I get an extra 30 seconds because I cried. In all of the efforts that you put into doTERRA as well. Now, I also want to thank you not just for your efforts, but I want to give a personal thank you to you. Last year after convention, I went home. I get another 30 seconds. It's planned. I went home. And I know you have not seen me very much for the last year. I needed time with my family. I've spent our entire existence in doTERRA. I've averaged just over 300 days a year being away from my family. I needed to reconnect with them. I needed to spend time with them. So thank you. That having been said, I'm back. I'm also senile, so I don't know if that's very good or not. I'm full of energy. I'm full of enthusiasm. I'm more prepared and I'm more ready for our future with essential oils than I ever have been in my entire life. Now, I have two of my grandkids here today. One I coach in football. Don't lose on Saturday no matter what happens. And my granddaughter, it's her 14th birthday today, so happy birthday. I don't know what she did wrong that she had to come listen to me on her birthday, but here she is. I want to extend an invitation to all of us here in doTERRA, in perspective, to come home. Let's come back to who we are as a company. Let's come back to our love and our passion for essential oils. Let's come back to the experiences that we have that drive us, that have been so eloquently expressed this morning. Let's come back to the foundational aspects of who we are. Let's look at the foundational processes that we look at for wellness. Let's look at the individual steps that we can take. Let's focus on the products that are core and central to who we are and what we do to procure not only our own health and wellness, but the health and wellness for others. One of my favorite oils of all time is frankincense. Frankincense is one of the oils that we should be using on a daily basis. So I want to talk with you for a little bit about frankincense. Now we know that there's some value that comes with the essential oils. One of the unique things about doTERRA essential oils is that the chemistry of the essential oils themselves are readily available and that they're utilized fully by the body. This is unique to frankincense essential oil, but this isn't unique to frankincense essential oil, and it brings other qualities associated with it. Yesterday at our scientific symposium, we talked a lot about the qualities of essential oils, and one of the things I mentioned there is that they are selective. We know also that they're biologically active, and we know that they demonstrate specific cell targets. You need to begin to know and understand more fully that essential oils are unique because they are chemical messengers and they interact directly with the cell. They're selective because of the chemistry in which they possess. They have key components associated with them that interact with the receptors on the surface of a cell. We know about essential oils. I was so appreciative of some of the things that Emily said, where she took courage to stand in her confidence and in the confidence that we have as a company. And I've been waiting for months to be able to say this. I am tired of people pretending like they know what we know. I'm tired of people suggesting that they do what we do. The level of understanding that we now have in doTERRA goes beyond what has ever been perceived, ever known about the essential oils, and will continue to progress and become dominant as we move forward as a company. No longer are we going to spend time listening to the rhetoric of individuals spewing their venom about how they are just like doTERRA. In fact, I wish that they were. The world would be a much better place. Now, this is representative of some of the studies that we've done where we can look at individual essential oils. We know the receptors that they interact with. We know the pathways that gets ensued because of that. In the case of frankincense, it's not listed here, but we work specifically through the TRP1 receptor, which is the way that we engage in the pathways of MD88, and also we look at TLR4 as far as a pathway, and we inhibit those pathways. Did you know that? Neither do any of our competitors. We also know that the cell itself functions through DNA, and that the DNA of our cell can be easily damaged. It can be easily disrupted. We also know the processes by which that happens. It happens because of inflammation, it happens because of poor lifestyle, it happens because of toxicity. Interestingly enough, all things within our control and easily suited with the essential oils. One of the reasons why I love frankincense is because frankincense has been studied in a variety of different ways with its interaction with the DNA. Now, earlier we said that essential oils have specific cell targets, and generally that happens on the surface of the cell. At the symposium yesterday, you learned that the membrane of the cell is lipophilic. You know that essential oils are lipophilic. And we know that frankincense can have direct interaction within the cell and with the DNA. And this was fascinating research where they talked about that frankincense supports the cell and supports the DNA so that it can be corrected and we have proper expression and replication. That makes frankincense essential oil unique and different from a lot of our other essential oils. It's direct interaction with the cell, as all essential oils do, but also target specific within the cell. And that makes it very, very different. Now, in context of the essential oils, we would also say that we need complete chemistry associated with the essential oils. I loved what Mark talked about with co-impact sourcing. I loved what Emily shared about co-impact sourcing. I love that she said co-impact sourcing is not what we do, it's who we are. The reason why that is so critical, because if we don't have a complete cell, and if we don't have a way to frame around that in terms of support, and if we don't have total chemistry within the essential oils, we can't. I'm going to be bold and say the biggest challenge that we face in the essential oil community at large is the adulteration and the propagation of essential oils that not only are not complete, they do harm and they do damage. In doTERRA, yesterday, you heard Dr. Nicole Stevens talk about pharmacokinetics. And she talked about how even the smallest compounds of chemistry, even the minute amounts of chemistry, can change the outcomes associated with the essential oils. Another good example of that is spikenard essential oil. Spikenard is one of my favorite oils, and the spikenard has the capacity to enhance the benefits that come from other essential oils. One of the unique characteristics about spikenard, 97% of its chemistry exists in the individual constituents that are far below 1% each. Very small amounts of chemistry, all combining. It's the whole of the chemistry that makes the essential oil valuable. Here's a good example of that. This is research that we did with Roseman University, and Dr. Jeff Talbot came and presented this, I believe, back in 2016. And he talked about how they looked at a lot of our essential oils, and they were interested in pathway. The two pathways that we looked at very specifically was MAPK, which is good for cell growth, and then we also have JAK-STAT. And we looked at JAK-STAT, which is a much broader pathway and has lots of outcomes associated with it. We focused on immunity. And what they found was the essential oils of green mandarin, of pink pepper, and turmeric all had positive outcomes and supported the body in those outcomes associated with the pathway. And then we did what everybody tries to do. If we just isolate the chemistry, it's going to become more profound. We're going to be able to know and understand exactly how and why it's happening. And generally, when we isolate chemistry, the isolation is focused on where is the preponderance of the chemistry. What area of the essential oil has the largest or the most prominent chemical compound associated with it? So we looked at D-limonene with green mandarin, pink pepper with alpha-pinene, and of course turmeric with the AR turmerones. And what we found is that the individual chemistry had zero effect. I think it was in 2018 that we had Dr. Nicole Parrish, Nikki Parrish, come. She was a researcher with Johns Hopkins University. Her mother got her interested in essential oils, and she wanted to look at the full component of our doTERRA essential oils. We tested every single oil that we had, and she wanted to know their microbial effect and benefit. It was interesting. She called me one day, she goes, "Dr. Hill, I found it. I found the key that allows us to deal with these most difficult microbes." Now, in my mind, I was thinking maybe it's oregano, maybe it's thyme, maybe it's cinnamon, maybe it's rosemary. Maybe it's on guard. It was rose essential oil. She said, the next step, Dr. Hill, is, and I hope you're ready for this, we're going to create a new drug. We're going to isolate the chemistry. We're going to find out which compound it is that is creating this effect. I chuckled a little bit, and I said, Nikki, it's not going to work. She spent several months isolating chemistry and then called me and said, it didn't work. Then she came to our convention and said, it didn't work. It turns out essential oils have to be in their full component to be valuable and to be effective. This is the history, this is the value that we provide in doTERRA with our commitment to pursue what's pure, with our commitment to be immovable in what we're doing with the essential oils. Now, you know that we source frankincense from all over the world. And there are more than 20 different species of frankincense. Boswellia papyrifera, we have Sacra, we have Carterii, we have Freriana. Emily addressed some of the challenges that we're having. I hope that you didn't believe that it's not hard to do what we do. We face challenges all the time. One of the unique things that happens when you source essential oils from different regions or from different parts of the world is that the chemistry changes. And in this case, the chemistry change is focused into very specifically different chemistry models associated with each one of those species. Whether they come from Oman or they're coming from Somaliland or they come from Ethiopia, different regions produce different chemistry. I took 5 of the compounds that they all share in common because there is differences. And you can see this process known as chemical polymorphism, how an individual plant will produce different chemistry depending on the environment that it's in, the soil conditions, where it's located in the world. It doesn't make one better than the other. Yesterday you heard Dr. Osgoodthorpe talk a lot about consistency and the importance of consistency. Efficacy is a choice of what do we want the essential oil to do. That would determine what species that we would choose or select. In doTERRA, we do it differently, especially with our frankincense. We blend all 4 of those together, and you can see the difference now that is exuded in the chemistry profile. It's not that it has large amounts of alpha pinene that we like this. It's the balance of all of the chemistry together. And frankincense is uniquely suited because of this chemistry, because of the profiling that we put together. It's uniquely suited to have what I call broad effect or benefit throughout the whole of the body. I know that you have your own selection and choices about why you like frankincense, why it's meaningful to you, why you think it's powerful. I hope that you're using frankincense every single day. If I'm not mistaken, you have a sachet underneath your seats with frankincense in it. And if you're not using it, you should. And if it's not there, don't blame me. We'll find out why it's not there. It's not there? Yeah, we just didn't give it to you guys. Everybody else has it. You guys don't get it. I'm sorry. Buy your own. One of the reasons why I love frankincense, I've not been without my own health challenges in my life. And one of the reasons I like frankincense is because of its ability to help my body have normal inflammatory responses, to bolster my immune system, to help reduce stress for me. You and I need to learn how to use frankincense every single day. Now, I thought to myself, I should probably isolate that really this is the best way to use frankincense, but I'm going to tell you that you need to use it in all 3 of these profiles. You should diffuse frankincense every single day, especially because of its effect into the neuroendocrine responses in the body, because of its effect in mood and emotions, because of its ability to help us manage stress more effectively. We should be using it topically because we get targeted response. It's more than just building the deeper layers of the skin. It's about targeted response with some of the other benefits that come from the essential oils, like, for example, neuralgic pain or other things that come. And we can target that response by applying it directly onto the skin. One of the things you should do, in my opinion, is dilute that essential oil, not because there's danger, but because there's opportunity for you to localize the response. And of course, use it internally. Now, our future is full of discovery. We're going to continue to focus on efficacy. We're going to talk about dosage. We're going to talk about specialized delivery. We know where we're going to in the future with doTERRA and all the science that we procure and that we execute on. We need you to do likewise in your usage of the essential oils. Learn how to use essential oils daily. Now, I know I'm singing to the choir, but as you go out and you share the essential oils, this is the framework that we need to have people step within so that they can receive the full benefit that comes from the essential oils. Now, you maybe have heard of boswellic acids in the past. One of my first presentations I ever gave many, many decades ago, when I was first learning about essential oils and didn't know much, I said you need to use frankincense essential oil so that you can receive boswellic acids. They're a botanical and they're really powerful. I learned very quickly that botanicals don't exist within essential oils, but boswellic acids are in the resin of frankincense. We get the oil from the same place we get this botanical boswellic acids. One of the advantages we have when we combine boswellic acids and frankincense together, or when we take a botanical and combine it with another essential oil, like what we did with turmeric, with the curcuminoids and the turmerones from the oil and the botanical, we can enhance benefit. And the reason why that happened is because of pathway. Essential oils are focused exclusively on cellular. Turn that music off, I got 30 seconds. I cried for 30 extra seconds, and that's all I need. Dual pathways. What we have with botanicals is it's a metabolic pathway. It's enzymatic. This is powerful because if we could find a way where we could combine those two things together, boswellic acids and frankincense essential oil, it would rock your world. Well, now you know what we're going to be working on. Or maybe I need to introduce somebody so that you can have the opportunity to learn more about boswellic acids and what we've been up to. I want you to know how much I and my partners love and appreciate you. What a pleasure it is to work with you. I'm looking forward to our future together. We have much to accomplish. Thank you.